everyone, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small. Today we're going to be unboxing Clash of Steel. This time it's the War of Unification Soviet versus British starter set. So this is the fourth starter set for Clash of Steel, the second one in this War of Unification. This, in full disclosure, was sent to me by Gale Force 9 to review. That said, I will be giving you my unfiltered review, of course, and let you know what I think. Okay, so Clash of Steel, they are splitting up Clash of Steel basically into like an early, mid, late war scenario like they do with Flames of War, because I know a third set is coming out, at least I believe so. So this is kind of the second one. This takes place 10 or 12 years, I think, after the first set. The first one was 1948. This one is in the 50s. And we already unboxed one of these. We unboxed the American versus German set, which I liked very much. So this is, again, British versus Soviet. 19 tanks in the box. Let's take a look at the back and see what we get. So here we've got British force. We've got one Conqueror tank. That's a beefy boy. We've got 3 Centurions, 2 Tortoises, and 3 Charioteers. On the Soviet side, we've got 4 IS-7s, 3 IS-3s, and 3 T-44s. You also have all the rules, tokens, cards, everything you need to play is in the box. I'm not going to go through, this is going to be a little bit more abbreviated unboxing than the last one I did, because I'm not going to go through all of the non-model components, because they're the same exact thing that were in the first one of these that I did, the American versus German starter set. So this one, we're just going to look at the cool models that come in the box and what we get. And that way, if you are looking at Clash of Steel and you're kind of wondering which set to go with, at the end of the video, I'll give you my opinion. But here we're just going to be looking at Soviet versus British. Other thing too is I just want to mention, if you like our content, please do consider giving us a like and subscribe. You can also check out our Patreon, where we do Flames of War and Team Yankee battle reports. That helps the channel immensely. Also, you could join the YouTube membership join to help support the channel. Anything you do helps and lets us continue doing what we're doing here. All right. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the models. All right, let's go ahead and open up this bad boy. All right, lots of cool looking plastic. We'll get rid of the dice. Put this stuff over here. All right, so it looks like we've got some of the British stuff up first. So this is the Conqueror, which is their biggest tank in the game. We're going to take a look at the card during this video as well for these tanks. Now, there are some duplication in these sets, and we'll talk about those a little bit later. These are Soviets. I guess we could talk about some duplication now. These awesome tanks, these are the Tortoises. You get 2 of them here. You also got 2 of them in the first starter set. So if you get both British starter sets, you're going to have 4 of these bad boys, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think they are very, very cool looking. Then we've got, this is the, let's see. This is the Cromwell tank. Sprue. We get 4, I guess these are what they call the Charioteers. This might be upgraded turret for that. We're going to look at the assembly instructions too. We got some tank crew there. These are the Challenger kits. We got some of these in the first box as well. Great kit, by the way. Fantastic kit. I already assembled some of these and painted them. You might have seen a battle report with what I did with Mark, where he took British versus Germans. you get 3 of these guys. But great tanks, you know, not just for Clash of Steel. Team Yankee, the Arab-Israeli rule set. You know, there's lots of ways to use that. Okay. Then down here we've got I think these ones are the T54, T44s. But they're on the T55 sprue, so you can build them lots of different ways. And then these are we had a escapee off of one of the frames. These look like the IS-3, which we got some of these in the first box as well. Okay. Then we've got these kind of T44, T54 upgrade sprues because you're not going to use the T55 turret. You're going to use the turrets that the appropriate turret. Yeah, so we've got several pieces have kind of broken loose. A little loose there in the packing on the top. No damage on anything, but you know, something you always need to be careful about. All right, let's go ahead and look at our cards and a little bit closer look at some of the models. So we've got, these are some of the models I painted up from the first wave that are included in this box, just so you can kind of see a painted example of it. I love the models, by the way. The models are fantastic. These are the IS-3s, and this is a I forget if I made a T54 or a T54 or a T44. And then this is the Tortoise and a Centurion. So those are the models that are repeats of the first box set. Now, particularly for the Soviets, you can never have too much. Adding 3 more IS-3s and 3 more T-44s or T-54s to your list is not bad at all. So it's a great way to expand your force. Plus you get some of the massive IS-7s. With the British, maybe not so much. You do get a Conqueror, which is nice, and but you've already got 3 Centurions, you've already got 2 Tortoises, and then the Charioteers are new. Okay. Let's look at some of the models and then cards of those ones that we don't have. So this is the Conqueror. And sadly, we only get one of these guys, and he's huge. I always thought the Conqueror is a very cool looking tank. You can kind of see some of that juicy detail on there. Track detail. Now, card-wise, the nice thing with this set is they do have cards for everything that's available for the British and the Soviets. So it's not just what's in the box, it's the entire range as it currently stands now. So, you know, you've got the Churchill, which isn't in any starter box, the Centurion 1, the Centurion 3. You could play them different ways. The Challenger, they're a little sticky, but once you peel them apart, the Comet, the Cromwell, the Archer, Centurion. So there might be different Centurion versions now too. Now here's the Conqueror. We'll have to look in the main rulebook. It looked like there were some different ones. All right, so this is the Conqueror stats. Let's hold that a little bit closer. Conqueror, has a front armor of 19. I haven't seen the stats of this before. Side and rear of only 6, which is not that great. Anti-tank of 21, though. That's amazing, and a huge 48-inch range. Holy cow. You only get one shot with this guy, though, so, you know, that's not the best, and it's only halted. So, you know, that's a consideration. I wonder if there's another version of the Conqueror with a different gun, like that American tank. Nope. Here's the Charioteer, which only has a front armor of 4, side armor of 3, a nice 20-pound gun with an AT-17. So basically it's a giant upgunned Cromwell. It uses the same Cromwell plastic sprues as Flames of War, but with the upgrade turret. And sorry, you've got that sprue. And the upgraded turret sprue, which is pretty nice. Okay, so that's a look at some of the British. Now for the Soviets, we have the IS-7 is the new boy on the block, because all the other ones are, we've seen them before in the previous starter set. So you've got a nice, I always like kind of how that hull is sloped. Track detail. Gun, machine guns. The cards. Okay, front armor 19. Finally, the Soviets are getting some respectable armor. Side of 13, and their gun is anti-tank 18, 2+ firepower. It can shoot on the move, which is nice. These IS-7s just look like beasts. It's a keen eye to tell Soviet armor apart as they go through the ages. But the IS-2 just has this the IS-7 just has this ridiculously big turret on it, which I think looks really cool. I think the machine gun, the way that it's up so high, it's probably going to get broken off in gameplay. Don't even know if that's worth putting on there. But otherwise, yeah. So Soviets finally getting some decent armor, because with the IS-3, let's see if we find the IS-3. I think that was the previous best armored in their set. You can see all the different cards. Oh, I totally missed it. Let's see, where are you hiding? IS-122. I don't see the IS-3, but we'll look. We'll check the book. Checking the British book. Just wanted to verify a few things. Yeah. So even though they have the same Centurion model, this is an upgraded version. This is a Centurion 5. And in the first starter set, you could take Centurions 1s and 3s. They like their odd numbers in Britain, I guess. You get two versions here, the 5/1, the 5/2. Just a cursory glance, it looks like the armor is better on these ones. They're 13 instead of, I think the originals were 10. And they have guns. One of them has a 20-pounder with a AT-17, and the other one has a 105mm gun with a AT of 18. Both of these guys are accurate and stabilizers, so they're meant to get in close and dogfight. They can shoot and go from there. So that's a quick look at the British book. Let's take a look at the Soviet book next. I'm curious. We saw the cards, but let's take a look at the. We have the T-54-3, which I think is different from the first book, the Shock Group, where you could take a T-55-1. So the T-55-3, or sorry, T-54-3, let's see, has front armor 13 with an AT-17 gun. The old T-54 has a front armor 12 with a AT-15 gun. So you can take kind of an upgraded T-54, which is cool. And then you got the IS-7. We already looked at the card, but very cool stuff. And then it's got a picture of all the Soviet tanks. But very, very cool stuff. All right, there you go. Well, overall, Clash of Steel continues to impress. I've been enjoying my time with it. But, you know, if you like Flames of War, Team Yankee, you're going to like this game. I know there is a group of historical sticklers out there who, because a lot of these are conjectural or this is a conjectural conflict, they're not interested. And hey, that's cool that, you know, this game isn't meant for you. But for people that are interested in pushing around tanks and a little bit more obscure subjects, and these are heavy armor. Um, you know, this might be a game you want to check out. Cool Box is very affordable and a great way to split. A great way to use this is to split it with a friend. You know, and then there's plenty of plastic tanks for everybody. If you've collected all 4 starter sets now, you actually have pretty good armies for 4 different nations, which is pretty impressive for the price that we're talking about for these. I mean, ultimately, it's not super cheap, but in the hobby space that we're in, $75 for a starter set, which you could find cheaper, you know, in the 60s probably. On online realtors, that's really good for 19 tanks. Man, that is a sweet deal. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more Clash of Steel content. You know, unit overviews, that kind of thing. We're probably have another battle report or 2 coming in the immediate future, at least before the end of the year. But we'll again try to make those happen. So, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Please do leave me a comment down in the comments below what you think about the game. Like and subscribe again would be fantastic. As always, again, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.